All right, so here we're facing Iowa Central Community College, another top 10 team and a top 10 defense in the country. Going into this week, we knew they were a base quarters team and a base 3-3 stack team. Out of that 3-3 stack, they like to bring a lot of different pressures and stunts. So they were very multiple in terms of that aspect, and so we had to be ready for that. But in regards to this play, we're in 2nd and 9 here. We're in 10 personnel. So 10 personnel obviously tells us this receiver is coming in for our Y. Okay, so this is our R, Z, H, and X. X and H always travel together. Z and R or Z and Y always travel together. Okay. So all we're running here is running H shallow. So H shallow tells us that both X and Z are running 15 back down to 12-yard comebacks, just taking the corners out of the play. H is running the shallow, settle against zone, stay on the run against man. R is running a 10-yard basic. Tailback is running a check release swing to the field. All right. So in terms of progression, what I'm working here is I'm working 1 to the shallow, 2 to the basic, and then 3 to the back on the check release swing. All right. Coverage-wise, what we're getting is we call this cover 4 drop. So what they end up doing is they only rush 3, drop 8, and they're playing a quarter shell behind it. So that's why we call it cover 4 drop. So that tells us they're dropping 8 and only rushing 3. The way we would identify this defense is obviously we have our corners here. This would be our strong or dog safety since he's to the strength of the formation. This was the strength of the formation because the back was to my right. So this would be our strong or dog safety. This would be our free safety. This is our nickel right here. Sam, Mike, Will. All right. Here we're in a Liz protection. Liz is a check release 6-man protection. All right. And against this front, an odd front, it ends up being a 4-man slide. So the right guard, center, left guard, and left tackle are all going to slide left. Back check release to the right. This right tackle is glued to this end right here. Running back's responsibility here is the nickel. If the nickel comes, that's his man. If the nickel does not come, then he's just going to release and run the swing to the field here. All right. Here we identified the mic as our ID. All right. And so actually what I end up doing here is we have a 5-man box, so I give a Bob call. Bob is just big on big. So that tells these 5 guys right here that they're handling these 5 right here, these 3 down linemen and these 2 backers right here, the Sam and the Mike. But like I said before, since it's Liz and against this odd front, it's a 4-man slide, that basically essentially tells us that these 4 right here, starting with the right guard to the center, left guard, left tackle, are handling the nose and Sam and Mike. This right tackle is glued onto this end right here, so we should be picked up. Only guy that makes me hot here would be the Will. Okay, but obviously he doesn't end up coming, so I'm not hot. If I were hot, my hot answer would either be the shallow cross or get the ball out to the back. Okay. So to walk you through what they're doing here, quarters is just a man essentially after 10 yards. So corners are going to play man on Z and X, and they're going to be taken out of the play with these comebacks. Free safeties man on the R right here running the basic. Strong safeties man over H running the shallow. Then obviously Will and nickel are buzz droppers. Okay, so they're going to hook, curl. Sam and Mike are middle field droppers, and they're going to read my eyes and take away anything that comes over the middle of the field, right? They're going to try to get wall off shallows and basics and then get depth and get underneath them, all right? So like I said before, what I'm reading is I'm going shallow to the basic to the back. What's going to end up happening is when this strong safety sees H running a shallow, he's going to pass him off, and then he's going to get eyes to the R immediately and try to come over and make a play on him. All right, so as you let this play kind of run out and take my drop, and there it is. He's following the shallow, but as soon as he sees him, he's going to pass it off there. There's the pass off. Now he's going to get eyes to the R. Nickel's getting into his hook curl. Will's getting into his hook curl, and he's going to try to get underneath this comeback. And then these are walling off and then middle field droppers with the Sam and the Mike. Okay. I feel this pocket ends are going hard up the field, so I want to get up and underneath that. So I'm going to step up. As I step up, what I can easily do here is throw this shallow and pick up 4 or 5. But what ends up happening is I see R coming into my field of vision right here. And I see this window between the Sam and the Mike. So I want to throw this ball right there. The only guy I had to be worried about was this strong safety coming over, trying to make a play on it. Okay? But I knew the only way to do that or to beat that was if I stayed on the run and made this throw. And it ends up being a good play for us.